We've been sold a dangerous lie that success is about pushing harder, sleeping less, and grinding endlessly. But let me hit you with a fact that will shake your perception.
The shorter your sleep, the shorter your life. Short sleep predicted all-cause mortality.
We live in a world where hustle culture makes us feel guilty for slowing down. Why is it that we value grinding endlessly over recharging effectively? Yet the very thing we sacrifice is what fuels our ability to succeed: rest. Rest isn't just a luxury, my friend. It's the foundation of survival, performance, and long-term success.
Our choices determine whether we become losers or winners, not our circumstances.
And choosing rest is one of the most strategic decisions you can make. What if I told you that learning how to rest smarter could help you perform better, think sharper, and even achieve more in less time? Today, we're not just talking about why rest matters. We're diving into the science of sleep, recovery, and performance. By the end of this video, you'll see why rest does not hinder your progress. It's the key to unlocking your full potential. If you stay with me till the end, I've got a game-changing tip that will forever change how you approach rest and productivity. So find a quiet spot, avoid any distractions, and give me your full attention, because this might just change your life as it did mine. Before we dive in, I just quickly want to let you know that your comments truly matter in our community and help others on their journey as well. I enjoy reading through the comments, which is why I stumbled across this one recently, which actually gave the idea to this video. So if you have something on your mind, something you're currently dealing with, don't hesitate to share your thoughts down below. All right, let's talk about the shocking truth about rest. My friend, let's start with a reality check. Did you know that sleep deprivation is considered a public health epidemic? Poor sleep isn't just about feeling groggy the next day. It impacts every area of your life, from your decision-making to your emotional resilience.
Poor sleep makes us make risky, rash decisions and is a drain on our capacity for empathy.
Think about that for a second. When you're running on empty, you're not just tired, you're more likely to react impulsively, misread situations, and struggle to connect with others. These are not minor inconveniences, they're roadblocks to success, both personally and professionally.
In fact, in the past 20 years of studying, we have not been able to discover a single psychiatric condition in which sleep is normal.
That's right, there's no such thing as a healthy mind without healthy rest. Sleep is the foundation of your mental and emotional well-being. Without it, even the best productivity hacks and strategies crumble. Now, I get it. Life feels too busy to prioritize rest. Deadlines pile up, notifications ping constantly, and the idea of grinding has been glorified. But let me ask you this, is grinding yourself to exhaustion really moving you forward, or is it just burning you out? Here's the truth. To function at your best, you need at least 7 hours of sleep. But here's the kicker, you actually need to allocate 8 to 8.5 hours in bed to hit that target.
Correct. So to get at least the minimum, according to the CDC, of 7 hours, you actually have to be on average in bed maybe about 8 hours and 15 minutes.
That's the time it takes for your body to fully unwind and restore itself. The irony is, many of us avoid rest because we think we don't have the time, but the time lost to exhaustion, poor decisions, and decreased productivity far outweighs the time spent recharging. It's not just about getting more hours of sleep, it's about giving your mind the chance to reset, process, and prepare for the challenges ahead. The science is clear, my friend. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's not just about feeling good, it's about being able to make good choices, perform at your best, and stay emotionally balanced. And as you'll see in the rest of this video, understanding the importance of rest is just the beginning. Now, I'd love to hear from you, my friend. What's your relationship with rest? Do you struggle to make time for it, or have you found ways to recharge effectively? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm always inspired by your insights. And who knows, your story might just help someone else in this community. Let's dig deeper into how you can turn this knowledge into actionable strategies. My friend, let's get straight to it. Rest isn't just about recharging your body, it's the secret weapon for your mind and your performance. Yet, in a world obsessed with hustle culture, rest often feels like a guilty pleasure instead of a non-negotiable necessity. Let me tell you why that mindset needs to change starting today. Imagine this, you're running a marathon, but instead of pacing yourself, you sprint the entire time. What happens? You burn out long before the finish line. That's exactly what happens when we neglect rest in the pursuit of success. Rest is the fuel that keeps you going, not an indulgence, but an essential part of the process. Here's a staggering fact. Sleep deprivation impacts the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making and impulse control. When you're not rested, small tasks feel overwhelming, and big decisions, they become minefields, and it doesn't end there. Poor rest has been linked to reduced memory retention and even an increased likelihood of making costly mistakes.
Ultimate mindset means that you must compete constantly with the version of yourself that you were yesterday.
But how can you compete with your best self if your brain and body are running on fumes? The truth is, success isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter, and rest is the cornerstone of smart work. Think about the long-term effects. Chronic sleep deprivation has been linked to serious health risks, from heart disease to mental health issues. Even worse, it's been shown to erode creativity and innovation, the very qualities that drive extraordinary results. In fact, rest allows your brain to form connections and insights that you wouldn't achieve while awake. Ever had a breakthrough idea while in the shower or during a walk? That's the power of a rested mind. And rest isn't just about sleep. It's about finding those moments to step back, breathe, and reset. Taking a break doesn't mean you're lazy. It means you're preparing yourself to come back stronger. Success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, and rest is your refueling station. As we move forward in this video, I'll show you how to integrate intentional rest into your routine without guilt, and why doing so might just be the game changer you've been searching for. Let's continue. You know, my friend, I learned the hard way just how much rest impacts everything we do. A few years ago, I was juggling multiple projects, trying to prove to myself and everyone else that I could handle it all. I'd wake up early, stay up late, and push through the fatigue with endless cups of coffee. I thought I was being productive, but the truth, I was a mess. One night, after weeks of running on fumes, I completely blanked out in a meeting. Not because I didn't know the material, trust me, I'd prepared, but because my brain just couldn't keep up. My lack of rest wasn't just affecting my performance, it was making me irritable, forgetful, and even emotional over the smallest things. That was my wake-up call. I realized that working harder wasn't the answer, working smarter was. And rest, that was the missing piece. I started prioritizing sleep, taking intentional breaks, and letting myself recharge without guilt. Within weeks, I felt sharper, more creative, and surprisingly, I was getting more done in less time. Let's be honest, my friend, rest sounds great in theory, doesn't it? But in practice, it's one of the hardest things to actually prioritize. We all know we should rest, yet somehow life keeps getting in the way. Why is that? Let's break it down. First up, guilt. How many times have you finally sat down to relax only to have that little voice in your head nagging you? You should be working. You're wasting time. Sound familiar? It's like we've been conditioned to equate rest with laziness, even though it's the opposite. Rest isn't lazy, it's productive. But overcoming that guilt, it's easier said than done. Then there's the distraction trap. You decide to rest by scrolling on your phone, and suddenly 2 hours have disappeared. But does your mind actually feel rested after that? Probably not. Social media and endless notifications aren't rest. They're just noise disguised as downtime. It's no wonder our brains still feel fried. And let's not forget about poor boundaries. You might want to rest, but the world has other plans. Work emails, family demands, last-minute errands. It's like the universe conspires to keep you on your feet. Sometimes it feels like there's no room for rest in your schedule at all. Here's a big one, the myth of constant productivity. We've been sold this idea that success comes from working 24/7, grinding every second of the day. But let me tell you something, burnout isn't a badge of honor. It's a roadblock. The most successful people know this. They rest because they want to perform at their best, not in spite of it. And finally, restless rest. Ever try to rest, but end up thinking about all the things you should be doing instead? Yeah, me too. It's like our minds don't know how to switch off anymore. We're physically still, but mentally sprinting, and that's not rest, it's torture. So what's the takeaway here? Rest isn't just about finding time, it's about changing your mindset. It's about recognizing that rest is just as important as the work itself. But before we dive deeper, I want to hear from you, my friend. What's the biggest barrier that keeps you from resting? Is it guilt, distractions, or something else entirely? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to know what you're facing so we can tackle it together. Stick with me, because next we're diving into how to overcome these barriers and make rest work for you. Let's keep going. My friend, let's get real. Rest doesn't just happen magically. You can't just say, I'll relax later, and expect your brain and body to go along with it. Let me share something that changed the game for me. I used to think rest was just something that happened when I had nothing left to do, kind of like an afterthought. But one day, I realized I was constantly running on fumes, snapping at people I cared about, and losing focus at work. That's when I decided to do something simple but life-changing. I started scheduling my rest like it was a non-negotiable meeting. At 8 p.m. every night, I'd put my phone away, make a cup of tea, and give myself 30 minutes to decompress. No screens, no distractions. It wasn't easy at first, but over time, it became my sacred space to recharge. And you know what? Everything else in my life started to feel more manageable. 1, prioritize rest like you would work. Think about it. When you have a meeting or deadline, you don't just skip it, right? Why not treat rest the same way? Schedule it. Block off time in your day or week dedicated to recovery, and don't let anything else encroach on it. Here's the kicker. Rest isn't just sleep. It's also downtime for your mind and emotions. Plan moments where you disconnect, even if it's just 15 minutes to sit in silence or take a short walk. It's not about how much time you have. It's about using it intentionally.
Now, I'm never saying something is impossible before I'm certain that it's impossible.
If you think prioritizing rest is impossible, let me assure you it's not. It just takes a little planning and commitment. 2. Learn to say no. One of the biggest barriers to effective rest is overcommitting. You can't do everything for everyone all the time, and trying to will only leave you drained. Saying no isn't selfish, it's self-preservation. Let me share a quick story. I used to say yes to every opportunity, thinking that staying busy was the key to success. But what I learned the hard way is that burnout doesn't get you closer to your goals, it pulls you further away. When I started saying no to things that didn't align with my priorities, I gained not only time but clarity. 3. Create a restful environment. Rest doesn't just happen when you sit on the couch. It happens when your environment supports it. If your phone is buzzing with notifications or your workspace is cluttered, you're not resting, you're just distracted. Try this. Turn off your notifications for an hour. Put your phone in another room, dim the lights, play some calming music. These small changes can make a huge difference in how effectively you unwind. And remember, you're not just creating an environment for rest, you're creating an environment for recovery. Your brain needs space to process the day's events, and your body needs time to recharge. Give yourself that gift. 4. Surround yourself with the right people. You've probably heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, it's true. The people around you have a massive impact on your energy and mindset. If you're surrounded by stressed, overworked people, guess what? You'll feel the same way.
In the same way, if you surround yourself by people that you want to be like, you hear them communicate, they change your brain, and it's going to rub onto you. You will actually become funnier. If you sit and listen to funny people next to you, you actually become more motivated if you're next to people that are motivated.
Spend time with people who value rest and self-care. Their habits will start to influence yours. Join a group that prioritizes balance, or even just find a friend who will hold you accountable for taking breaks. 5. Use active rest. Rest doesn't always mean doing nothing. Sometimes the most restorative activities involve movement. Yoga, light stretching, or even a leisurely walk can help you relax while keeping your body engaged. This is especially powerful if you spend most of your day sitting at a desk. Getting your blood flowing helps clear your mind and re-energize your body. Plus, it's a great way to break up your day and avoid the afternoon slump. 6. Practice mindfulness. You've heard me talk about mindfulness before, but let me emphasize this. It's not just a buzzword. Mindfulness helps you stay present, which is critical for effective rest. When you're mindful, you're not worrying about what happened yesterday or what's coming tomorrow. You're just here in the moment, allowing yourself to truly relax. Start small. Try a 5-minute breathing exercise or a short meditation. Over time, these practices can become a cornerstone of your rest routine, helping you reset your mind and body whenever you need.
The more you know about yourself, the more you're aware of those situations, the better you can do in controlling them. And the more you know about yourself, you can do better in all of those tasks. And that's kind of the ultimate thing.
Mindfulness helps you understand your triggers and respond to them with clarity, not stress. 7. Set clear boundaries. Let's face it, work-life balance can feel like a myth, but it's not about splitting your time perfectly. It's about setting clear boundaries. Decide when your workday ends and stick to it. Don't answer emails at 10 p.m. Don't take calls during your family dinner. Boundaries protect your rest time, and they send a powerful message to others and to yourself that your well-being matters. 8. Let go of guilt. Guilt. That sneaky little voice that tells you you're wasting time when you're resting. But here's the thing, rest isn't the enemy of productivity, it's the fuel for it. Without rest, your creativity, focus, and resilience take a nosedive.
99% of depression and anxiety is self-manufactured.
This might sound harsh, but it's a reminder that our mindset plays a huge role in how we feel. If you tell yourself rest is a waste, you'll believe it. But if you tell yourself rest is necessary, you'll start to embrace it. 9. Track your rest. Just like you track your workouts or your diet, tracking your rest can be a game changer. Use a journal or an app to log your sleep, downtime, and recovery activities. Seeing your progress will motivate you to keep prioritizing rest. Plus, tracking helps you identify patterns. Maybe you notice you feel more energized after a certain amount of sleep or a particular type of activity. Use that knowledge to fine-tune your rest routine. 10. Celebrate your wins. Finally, don't forget to celebrate your progress. Rest isn't just about what you avoid, burnout, fatigue. It's about what you gain, energy, focus, and clarity. Take a moment to acknowledge the benefits you're experiencing, no matter how small they might seem. And let me leave you with this. Rest isn't just a break from success, it's a part of it. When you rest effectively, you're not just recovering, you're preparing. You're laying the foundation for the energy, creativity, and focus you'll need to tackle your goals head on. So my friend, what's one small step you can take today to prioritize rest? So if you're ready, let's dive into a bonus strategy that could transform the way you think about rest forever. My friend, I once heard about a CEO who swore by his 10-minute rule. No matter how busy his day got, he would step away for 10 minutes every few hours to close his eyes, breathe, and let his mind reset. At first, people thought it was a waste of time. How could stepping away make him more productive? But those 10-minute breaks gave him clarity and focus that kept him sharp for the rest of the day. He wasn't stepping back to slack off, he was stepping back to leap forward. And this ties perfectly to the idea that rest, even in small bursts, can recharge you and elevate your performance. Sometimes the smallest pause can lead to the biggest progress. Now let's make To make rest your secret weapon too, rethink rest. It's not lazy. Let's be real. How often do you feel guilty for taking a break? We live in a world that glorifies hustle, where grinding 24/7 is seen as the only path to success. But let me flip the script for you. Rest isn't a waste of time. It's the smartest move you can make. Think about it. When you're well rested, your brain works better, your decisions are sharper, and you're not just dragging yourself through the day. The truth is, when you ignore rest, you're sabotaging your own success. And here's the kicker. Rest doesn't just recharge you, it prepares you for your next big leap. The 90-minute magic trick. Here's a strategy I swear by. Work smarter, not harder. Break your day into 90-minute work blocks, followed by 15 to 20 minutes of intentional rest. This isn't just a productivity hack, it's backed by science. Your brain operates in cycles, known as ultradian rhythms, and after about 90 minutes of focus, it needs a reset. So instead of pushing through when your energy dips, take a step back. Use those 15 minutes to completely unplug, stretch, go outside, or just close your eyes and breathe. Trust me, you'll come back sharper, more focused, and ready to crush whatever's next. What sleep can do for you. Let's talk about sleep, the king of all rest. Most of us treat sleep like it's optional, but here's the harsh truth. If you're not sleeping enough, you're not functioning at your best. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired. It messes with your decision-making, drains your empathy, and makes you more likely to take unnecessary risks. Here's what you can do. Commit to a consistent bedtime. No, it doesn't have to be perfect, but aim for the same sleep and wake times each day, even on weekends. And if you're struggling to fall asleep, start small. Create a wind-down routine, dim the lights, avoid screens, or try writing down your thoughts to clear your mind. One more thing, don't fall into the trap of thinking, I can make up for lost sleep later. The truth is, rest doesn't work that way. Consistency is key. Reframe. Rest as productive. Let me ask you this. Would you keep chopping wood with a dull axe? Of course not. That's exactly what working without rest feels like. Taking time to recharge is sharpening your axe. It's what makes you more effective when you get back to work. Here's a challenge for you. The next time you feel guilty about resting, remind yourself that it's not downtime, it's prep time. Rest is what sets you up for success, so treat it like the priority it deserves to be. The rest action cycle. Here's the ultimate tip. Think of rest and action as a cycle. When you rest effectively, you're priming your body and mind for action. And when you take action, you earn the right to rest. It's a beautiful balance, my friend. And when you master it, you unlock a whole new level of performance. So the next time you're tempted to power through exhaustion, remember this. Rest is your secret weapon. Let me leave you with this, my friend. Success is not about how fast you go. It's about how well you recover. Rest isn't a sign of weakness. It's a strategy for strength. It's the pause that prepares you for the next big move. We've explored how rest impacts your success and why it's an essential part of the process. Now, it's time to put these ideas into action. Whether it's improving your sleep, taking mindful breaks, or simply letting go of guilt, every small step counts. If you're ready to take your growth even further, there's another video waiting for you. Something designed to align your productivity with purpose. Let's keep building the habits that will shape your future. It's up to you, my friend. Let's make it happen.